All right, good evening, everybody. This is episode 2 of Sports Talk. She's out of your league, Sports Talk Sunday, with myself, Kiana, Master Key, H, and my co-host for today, Mr. Royal Shepherd. Royal, would you like to introduce yourself to the people, or would you like for me to give mine?
I thought you just introduced me. I don't know what you want me to say, so you can tell them what you want them to know about me, Key.
So I want y'all to know that Royal is an avid sports fan and analyst. He is a part of another show strictly for the Miami Heat basketball called Five Reasons. What's it called?
Yeah, so it's the Five Reasons Sports Network, and we cover all South Florida sports. So we cover Dolphins, Canes, Heat. I'm part of the Heat coverage team, but I also jump in there on Dolphins sometimes, and I do a little bit of soccer every now and again too.
Okay. So this evening my sister couldn't make it, and we're gonna go forward with the crew we have here. So we would like to start with the performance of what we did know as the Miami Hurricanes yesterday before they were dismantled by the North Carolina squad in football.
Yeah.
To be honest, that was a disgraceful performance. It was disrespectful for every Miami fan. It makes no sense to have a score that you can flip and have a tie. That's crazy. So, we would like to start there, Royal. Royal said he did not watch the game, but he knows football enough to talk about what it means to the people.
Yeah. So when you have a team rush for an NCAA record on you, that's usually not a good sign. Them boys rushed for 500 yards between two people. And for a Hurricanes program that's trying to get itself back to relevance, where they were considered one of the top teams, it's tough to see your season essentially go up in smoke because that's the last regular season game. And it takes you out of position to be in one of those premier bowl games that you had set yourself up with only one loss prior to yesterday. But when you lose that badly to a team that's ranked beneath you, then exactly what happened happens. They dropped 10, 11 spots in the rankings, all because of that. Yeah, they dropped 10, 11 spots in the rankings. So they went from number 9 to number 19. And so that pretty much lets you know how the significance of that loss. Like that hurt. Like because I mean a lot of people, me included, we beating our chest about the U finally getting itself back to a point where we can compete in the ACC and then take that next step towards competing for championships. But I mean, then you have a performance, a dud like yesterday, and you know what I mean. Then you back to the same old story. What is this show rated, Key? I don't know how I'm allowed to talk.
Oh, this show is rated truth. You know, all that I do includes truth, no
Thank
feelings,
you.
no nothing spared, no holds barred, whatever else they be saying. This is a
Thank
free.
you. Because I kind of like took the lid off of Five Reasons too. Like I'd be on there cursing and shit. Like I be letting it fly, bro. I be making black jokes on there with all white people and stuff. Like it'd be crazy.
Yeah, man. So they went from the you is back to who are you? What happened to you? That was
I think
really
the
interesting.
worst part about it, Keith, was to watch all them sorry ass FSU fans celebrate yesterday because the U and Florida lost, but FSU little crummy ass won a game finally, and then they just came out the woodworks like they've been here all along. Ha ha
That's the
ha!
disrespect. They tried to
Yeah,
run from the rest of their season, and they want to talk to us, the winning team, about a loss. So y'all been experiencing this all season. Let us have our second experience with this. We lost to Clemson and North Carolina. But the same teams you lost to did not beat, so you can't talk to us.
yeah. So I think that's one of the worst. That's one of the worst parts about it. But just getting back to the side of things, it's just
Yeah.
really tough to see this team try and like fight their way back, and then you start to actually get hope into it. You start to invest yourself back into the program. Like these guys can legitimately make something of it, and to see it end like that, it was tough.
Yeah, to see an L like that
Well,
hurt.
the way that they lost. Like you said, I didn't watch the game, but when I looked at the stats, I was like, God damn, you got two people that rushed for over 200 yards.
Man,
Like
I
you
tried
weren't
to
stopping around. Hmm?
tried to take a break and like find something to do and hope that they would get it together. And came back and was still upset. Like, what is going on, y'all? I'm talking about. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I was wondering if they all had edibles before the game or something. Like, they were playing so slow. I mean, they were getting popped. Like, it was like, are y'all here today?
I think what happened is they got a little bit ahead of themselves. Like it's kind of like you get that win last week over Duke where you blow their ass out, but everybody knew that you would do that. And you see this game is, yeah, it's a tougher game, but we're better than this team. We get out with this win, and we're looking ahead to a premier bowl game. Like we're looking, and they just, I mean, they just came out flat, and they stayed flat the whole time.
I can't think of one UM player I could say like, oh, he was trying. No. And a couple of my friends believe that Manny Diaz is not the fit for the U. A couple of my friends believe that we also need another defensive coordinator. Because, I mean,
I think that's a little premature, right? Like I think Manny, like up until yesterday, he was 8-1. You know what I mean? Like, and he had this team playing really well. I wouldn't say they played their best because they didn't play their best every game. Some of the games they got bailed out by that quarterback. I can't remember who the opponent was off the top of my head, but especially the game where he threw 5 touchdowns.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You've been getting bailed out all year by your quarterback, and I think that's what some of the people are talking about. But the performance that they put out this year, it gave them a leg up in the state on recruiting. Because, you know, whichever the best team in the state is, that's who's going to get all the Florida players. That's who's going to get all the speed. And right now, it's between Florida and Miami. It looks like it's Florida because they're in they're in a much tougher conference in the SEC. But what I'm saying is, like, when you fighting for these recruits, being 9-1 looks a lot better than being 8-2 or being tied with another school. Like having the best record in the state goes a long way towards trying to recruit out of Miami and South Florida because you know that's where all the motor at anyway.
Yeah. And what's Florida's record?
Florida's 8-2. They lost yesterday as well.
We sitting in the same boat, different conference though.
Yeah. I think the fact that they're in the SEC lends itself to their schedule being a little bit tougher. So you know they get more credit for what they did, but they done lost some shitty games too. Just being honest.
Yeah, especially last night. Everybody was laughing about last night.
Yeah. Except for FSU.
Huh?
Except for FSU. I gotta ask you a question. What do you think about FSU in the Mike Norvell situation?
That's the coach.
Yeah.
What do you like? What exactly should I be thinking about it?
You know what I'm asking, Key. Should they fire him like they did that black man?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. You know, actually, the last discussion that we had like this was about Willie Taggart being prematurely fired, and I want to say, if you're going to do it one way, then split it across the board evenly. I mean, if you want to even get it down to the amount of games played to make that decision, make it happen. But I believe Willie Taggart was more of an influential, more of a like he did more than what Mr. Norvell is doing. He can't even seem to keep his players.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of those players they see like the program going downhill. They want to try and make their money now, so they all jumping to go to the NFL. Here's the problem: FSU won't be able to get out of this contract because they still paying Willie, and they'll still be paying Mike Norvell if they got him out of this contract, and they'll be paying the next guy too. Right. So I think this is all going to come down to a money issue, but I think his struggles validate what we were talking about the last time we were doing one of these, which is they did not give Willie enough time, and he did not have the requisite talent in order to be able to field a competitive program. And I think the same thing is being like it's being illuminated now with Mike Norvell. Like you got a different coach who y'all said the coach was the problem, and yet you're still producing subpar, you know, a subpar product on the field. And so I don't know, like
that a subpar product on the field.
Yeah, it's shitty. It's shitty.
So I read this article today. It said that I think a former UCF quarterback is transferring or transferring about I laughed. I'm like, really?
Well, the thing about it is it's a UCF quarterback, but the thing about it is he blew like both his knees out 3 years ago, and he only has 1 year of eligibility left.
Mm.
And so, yeah, he might be an upgrade over what they have at FSU. But I mean, really, how talented is the FSU quarterback situation anyway? So an upgrade from that is not really much to see him moving the program to another level and anything. He ain't that good.
I'm about to turn this thing to the Special Olympics over there for the state.
They're gonna be in the same. They're gonna be in the same position. They're gonna be in the same position for a few years because when the tide swings on these Florida teams, like it swings for a long time. Because you remember Florida had the Tebow years, and up until recently, they was in a slump for a long time for like 10 years. They just now starting to get they swing back, and they've been on a slump for damn near 15, 20 years. Now FSU was on top for a while. Now they going through their little downswing. I think they in for a long time of being down there, at least another 6, 7 years of them not being able to, compete against even the state teams.
So get back to their basics before game.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I don't give a shit if they suck for the rest of time.
You too. I'm with you with that. High five. So, anything else you want to talk about with the U? Or can we move on to this Dolphins game?
Let's go to the Dolphins game. That's more recent.
Oh man. Well, I would like to start with the Dolphins. They did a great job of making me assured that they have what it takes and also pissing me off at the same time. So they maintained a great balance in today's game. I like the way that they started out. People would say, "Oh, those picks were luck," but that was really awareness. Anytime anybody plays in Madden, the cornerbacks get what? An awareness rating. And so they had awareness tonight to catch those balls that were tipped. One thing I did not appreciate was that drive before halftime. I believe that kind of sucked the air out of the game. And yeah, the Dolphins really, I believe they could have won that game, but somewhere they, like the U yesterday, just folded.
So with the Dolphins, I've kind of been exercising. I've been kind of using a different exercise this entire season. I've been trying to manage expectations for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins right now have 8 wins on the season. And I understand that they've been on a recent, uptick in terms of winning, and they had a 5-game win streak or whatever, and everybody started to, take their expectations through the roof. But you have to take it back to the beginning of the season. Did you expect the Dolphins to win 8 games all year?
No, I didn't.
Okay, nobody did. So they're already at 8 wins with a chance to get more. And then, they put themselves in position to at least be competitive in these games against people like Kansas City. And that's what you're looking for from this season. You want to make Tua got over 300 passing yards with almost no help from his skill position. I counted myself at least 3-4 drops. He didn't have his top 3 running backs. He lost his top wide receiver and his top tight end in the middle of the game. All of those things played a factor into it. But overall, the Dolphins played a really solid game. And they had a really good game plan. And as for the picks, even if people want to consider them flukes, Patrick Mahomes had only thrown 2 interceptions all year. And he threw 3 interceptions in this game. And so that showed you that this defense, if nothing else, this defense is for real. And I like to see what Brian Flores is doing with him.
Yeah. And he came from the Patriots, which are what used to be our rivals. They're just another team in the conference now. But he came from the winning Patriots Super Bowl type squad. So I love to see that in Miami. I love that this is just his second year. That is very impressive to me personally. And then he is what appears to be a melanated man doing the damn thing,
Yes, indeed. A bald-headed melanated man, too.
Yeah.
But so that's Alex Cesare. Alex Cesare is one of my former students from franchise. Yeah. So I appreciate you for tuning in to my dog show. You should watch it more often. But Brian Flores and his staff should definitely be commended because even last year in his first season, when people thought that the Dolphins were tanking, towards the end of the year, you started to see them put together games where they were really competitive against good teams and they started to play really solid ball, and that carried over into this season. Like, you got to think the Dolphins are starting 3 rookies on the offensive line, and they got a rookie at quarterback, and they lost their second best receiver, and they keep losing running backs, and they don't have much of a run game to begin with. But you can see them still putting together games in which they're never being blown out. They're never completely out of the game. They're winning games that they should, and they winning some games that they shouldn't win. And so that to me means that the Dolphins, if they have a really solid draft again this year, then that means that they're putting themselves in position to be one of the contenders in the AFC East for years to come, along with Buffalo.
I'd agree, and it's well deserved. And it's time. I mean, my whole childhood, I've been rooting for the Dolphins for no reason. What it seems like, at least, like I just get my feelings hurt every Sunday. But every Sunday, I come back ready to cheer for the Dolphins again. And I just want it to be worthwhile one of these years. That's all.
Well, shout out to you and my wife Uni, because both of y'all go ham for them Dolphins. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, anybody to say anything crazy. I don't care who your team is. So, let's see. What were some good plays today
from the Dolphins?
Oh yeah. Well, first off, I would like to talk about the King Grant. He really pissed me off with that pick. That was, I mean, sir, what are you doing, little man? What are you doing, sir?
There's 2 games in a row where he's dropped passes that could have potentially been touchdowns.
You know what I'm saying? And one was a pick. Like, that changed the game. That changed the momentum of the game.
And just to go back to that drive, the last drive in the first half that you were talking about, I thought the Dolphins got really passive towards the end of that drive, like when they had an opportunity. But they did that because Tua got sacked on, what was it, second down or whatever. He got sacked, and they didn't want to kind of like they were only down 4 points. But the problem was that they had a 10-0 lead. Like, they had a 10-0 lead, and then they squandered that in. But that's what Kansas City does to everybody. Like, they'll get down, and then boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, 28 unanswered points, and now you fighting from behind. And so, I mean,
I've watched Kelsey over the years. And I just want to know, is he really that unstoppable? It just seems like nobody could really cover him. Like, I don't know, like, if that's just my frustration this game because it was my team, or is he like really that deal like that?
No,
like,
he's legit. He's legit been probably, if not the best tight end, the second best tight end in the league for at least the past 8 years. And that's kind of like what it is that Patrick Mahomes and all of those weapons, like, it's so many of them that people forget that Sammy Watkins is a first round pick. Like, you got who's 17 who returned the punt for a touchdown today.
Oh, Hardeman, I saw that boy at Pro Day. I'm a believer. I was at his Pro Day. McCole Hardeman, I'm a believer, boy. I saw him in real life. That boy is fast.
And it's not just that they have all these weapons. These boys got wheels, Key. Like, these boys are moving. Like, all of them, Tyreek, Sammy Watkins, Hardeman, like, all of these boys are moving out there. And so it's difficult to spread your defense out like that, both across the field and vertically, because they can just beat you over the top with several different people. So it's tough. But the Dolphins only lost by 5 points today. And I did like to see the way that they played this game, because they were very competitive in this game. Like, they
box a lot.
Huh? What'd you say?
They stacked the box a lot. So they had a lot of one-on-one, but they was trying to get to the quarterback.
And that's that zero blitz thing that Flores has been doing with them, where he ain't got no safety help in the middle, but sometimes they come, sometimes they dropping people straight back. Like, that game plan has been working tremendously for them.
Yeah. Now, as much as Xavier Howard has been doing this season, I would like to say he really folded it when Kelsey caught that pass in the end zone. That little dump pass, that was all him.
Yeah, I think he lost him. Yeah, because he was behind X-Man, right? He was behind him, and I think Xavier Howard was so busy watching Mahomes that he lost him, and all Kelsey did was he just scooted over a little bit, and it gave him that window. But did you see that pick by X-Man though? Like he got the one-handed
in the end zone. I did see that. I went to sleep. I'll be honest with you. I went to sleep when we were losing by 20 points. So I was like, man, I can't watch this. I made myself take a nap. I woke back up. I said, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do this thing, baby. I know that's fake, but
he wasn't he's somebody who I don't think is being talked about enough either. Like he's leading the league in picks. Like I think that was his 9th one. So the X-Man has been like he's been killing out there, and he's one of the reasons why y'all defense is so good. Like that defense is legit. The offense needs a few more skill position players. Like I think y'all gonna draft probably like a linebacker or another wide receiver or something like that, and in a running back because y'all need to get two of some weapons. But I think y'all defense is right there. The boy Christian Wilkinson is a monster. Emmanuel Ogba is a monster. Huh? Yeah. What's his name? Jerome Baker. He sacked Mahomes like 30 yards. Huh? And then y'all got DBs for days. You know what I mean? With Rowe, Byron Jones, X-Man. Like y'all have all these people. Y'all got a solid defense that y'all can build, add little pieces, but your offense needs to grow.
Yeah. All we needed for offense today was Ricky Williams, Chris Chambers, and then Randy McMichael. We would have got that W. I'm telling you, that's all we needed, man.
And that's the problem. Sometimes y'all always had skill positions, but y'all never had the quarterback. Now it seems like y'all found y'all quarterback. And that's another thing that I want to put to bed. Like the whole Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Tua thing. Look, I get it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, huh?
The versus. Who? Versus.
Well, you know, some people were saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick should have kept the starting job because he wasn't losing. But it's just I want to put that thing to bed. Like Tua is the better quarterback. That's becoming more and more obvious with each game he plays. Ryan Fitzpatrick makes certain reads faster, but that's because he's been in the league longer. But Tua Tagovailoa is y'all quarterback of the future, and he should be treated like as such.
I keep saying, y'all, you were supposed to join the Dolphins this season.
I'm supposed to join the Dolphins when Aaron Rodgers retires.
Oh, okay, he didn't retire yet. Okay, I was trying to figure out.
No. When Aaron Rodgers retired, then I'm a full Bulldog fan. You see, I even thought I'm getting the colors together, Key. I'm getting the colors. I'm getting used to having the colors on.
Make yourself to the environment. We here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I even bought something off of the Dolphin shop.
Oh, okay.
No, I bought it for Uni though.
Oh, come on, bro.
I bought Uni a Tua jersey.
Okay, that's fair. She should be rocking that every Sunday.
She got it on.
Good. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. So this is the best Dolphins defense I've ever witnessed in my personal life.
In your lifetime?
Well, aside from Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison, that crew, and
Patrick
Zach
Surtain,
Thomas,
Sam Madison, Brock Marion, Zach Thomas, Lawrence, Jason Taylor.
Yeah. I remember. But this is the closest to that type of caliber play, like at the defense where it's like, oh, don't disrespect them. Like it's like we claim our respect now. I've not been used to that since probably childhood. You know, so long I could remember till we just started talking about it. So
no, that's absolutely the truth. I think the Dolphins defense is not only growing a respectable reputation amongst the fan base. I think they're growing it amongst the league as well. People are starting to like you can hear when Tony Romo was talking about it today during the broadcast. Like people are beginning to respect what the Dolphins have been accomplishing on defense, and it's because they're doing it to the best teams in the league. They did it to Patrick Mahomes. They did it to Kyler Murray. They did it to Russ. Like they're consistently being aggressive, and they're making sure that they're causing headaches for these top tier quarterbacks, and that's something that you have to pay attention to.
Let's talk about the playoff picture.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no. I'm sorry. I would really hope that y'all could do it. But with y'all losing this game, I think y'all got the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills. I
So,
will say y'all are going to beat the Patriots. Y'all always get one. The Dolphins always get one versus the Patriots. Y'all lost the one earlier this year. So I anticipate y'all winning that game. I think y'all going to lose against Las Vegas, and I think y'all going to lose against the Buffalo Bills. And that's going to keep y'all out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I like us over the Bills. This is just a fan in me talking, not the logical Kiana. So I just like.
Well, I mean, like legitimately, y'all do have the capability to be able to frustrate every team that y'all play. I think my biggest problem with the Dolphins team right now is the fact that y'all don't have a running game. Y'all like the running game is just it is non-existent. So y'all offense is Tua or bust because even y'all receivers are not. They don't really get separation. Like they don't really like make themselves available. And Tua has to make a lot of these throws with his arm and stuff like that. And that's going to come back to bite y'all in the ass later in these last 3 games. And that's why I see. But y'all made it look good for a long time. I can't even count.
That's what we do. Remind me. No, but I don't know. I think Parker played kind of scary today. I wasn't impressed. I know he got hurt.
Yeah.
I know he got hurt, but before the injury, he was playing a little reserved, if I will, or if you will. I didn't appreciate it.
Well, shit. The first play of the game was a bootleg throw to Tua to Parker on the sideline, and he dropped the shit. And so, like that to me is emblematic of what he's been doing. I wouldn't say most of the season because he's played fairly well in some games this year, but I mean, it's just is he's a symbol for what the rest of the Dolphins receivers look like. Like he's the best receiver on the team. And he's not a number 1 receiver. And that's kind of like where the Dolphins are. Like if he's the best that you have to offer, then you know everything else behind him is not, top tier.
That's true. I think Giuseppe got hurt today.
Yeah.
I felt sick. Was it a bad injury?
Huh?
Was it a bad injury? I didn't see it.
No, I think he'll be able to play. I think he'll be able to play next week. Like it didn't seem like that. It just knocked him out the rest of the game.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Oh, that dude Washington, just for the sake of.
Yeah, oh, the dude that y'all got from after he got cut by Kansas City.
I was thinking like, hey, you got to play, but help the defense out this week. But nah, you know what I'm saying.
No, he said 2 picks in the first round recovery. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like in the first round, the Dolphins pick up an inside linebacker and a wide receiver, and then in the later rounds they try and find a running back or something. Like I know a lot of people have been bringing up the name Travis Etienne as one of the people, the Clemson running back, as one of the people that y'all looking at. Yeah, but that's going to be tough. Yeah, that's probably going to be tough because I think receiver and inside linebacker are a bigger need for y'all.
Yeah, I agree. And we might need another backup quarterback just in case Tua goes down. I do not like Fitzpatrick because if he don't do anything, he gonna throw a pick.
Well, you can find a quarterback in free agency. What you don't want to do is draft a quarterback to make it seem like you moving on from Tua already.
Okay. Well, communication will be able to explain that. Hey, look, we just trying to be the best, and you're a little injury prone, my guy.
You don't want to put that. You don't want to put that in his head. You are our guy. You're the starter. We believe in you. We're building this team around you. That's the only thing that the Dolphins should be preaching to Tua.
Fuck all that. But I hear you. I understand. So I mean, who would we be looking at? Like,
you talking about as a backup quarterback?
Who's out there for real? Like that would fit with what the Dolphins got going on.
I mean, a backup quarterback, dime a dozen. You can find any one of these guys. If the Jaguars move off of Garner Minshew, you can put him as your backup quarterback.
You don't want anything out of Jacksonville. Nothing from the county of Duval. Keep that shit over there. No, sir. No, seriously, I'm not playing. No, seriously, we already put Alex her sorry ass. Like he just sitting there wasting time. Like, please no. Mm-mm.
That was funny. Yeah. So let's talk about the boys, man.
The basketball is back. This is a addition to the segment. Let's talk about the Heat. Yeah, let's talk about the Heat. Look, Alec, right on point. I see why you picked him as an intern or her.
Chisar?
Yeah, he's like, any Heat talk tonight? Of course. It ain't
Yeah.
a Miami Sports Club if we don't.
Yeah.
Let's, let's talk about the as the old folks say, the Miami Heats.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So Miami starts the preseason off tomorrow. One of the biggest things that people are talking about right now is the potential of them trading for James Harden. I want to know what you think about that, Key.
I believe, and forgive me for my thought process, but I believe James Harden would benefit more from Miami than we would from him. Reason being, he needs a championship to his legacy. He's been around the league to serve several teams to try to get it, and he's yet to get it. We have been the closest thing to the championship aside from the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is just my ego speaking, but I believe that it is a good idea, but at the same time, not a good idea as far as chemistry. I don't think personally that he and Jimmy Butler would make great teammates. That's just my thought process.
Oh, my thought process is if you have opportunity to trade for one of the top 5 players in the NBA, you do that and tell them to figure out the fucking process themselves. I don't care what you got to do. Like, so the biggest hang up with this trade for people has been whether or not Miami should trade Tyler Hero for him.
Oh,
Like he would be a central figure in
ooh.
this trade. Essentially, what we'd have to give up is Tyler Hero, the first round picks from 25 and 27, either Precious Achua or Kendrick Nunn, and Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, or Andre Iguodala.
Well, Andre Iguodala old ass to go. That's
Kelly
easy.
Olynyk, listen, Key. If they said we needed all of that for James Harden, I'm going to pack all their bags, and I'm going.
Not you.
I'm packing all of their bags, and I'm putting their ass on the first plane to Houston. Get out. Like I said, if you got a chance to get a top 5 player in the league, I love Tyler Hero. Don't get me wrong. I love all these players on our team, and I'm looking forward to see what Tyler Hero's career holds in the future. I think he could potentially be an all-star. You know what I mean? But James Harden is already an all-star. James Harden is already MVP of this league. And that's something that they don't just grow on trees. So you go get it, and then you build around it, and then you make it work the best way that you know how.
I respect that perspective, Royal. I guess I was thinking too attached to the present. I was too attached to what is and
Yeah,
not
you got
what
to
could
think about how we got that first ring. We let go of people like Karan Butler. We let go of Lamar Odom. We let go of Brian Grant. We shipped all they ass to LA for Shaq.
You saw what happened to their careers. It was nothing left.
Well, no. Well, Brian Grant, you're right. Karan Butler was still young. That was Karan Butler like 3rd year. And then and Lamar Odom, you saw how he turned out in the Lakers. He helped them win championships. Very good role player over the years. But we got a championship first because we got Shaq. And it's because we're willing to mortgage our future for a win now mode. And that's already been Pat Riley MO. And I think it's the same thing. Harden is too ball dominant, coach trying to run plays. Look, there's been a huge portion of this fan base.
That was my argument. He's too much of a ball hog. Him and Jimmy Butler gonna be beefing on the court like nigga. This is my team.
So
This
let
is
me ask
my
you a
team.
question. Do you think Eric Spoelstra is the top coach in this league?
What can you define top coach, please? What's your
Do you think Eric
definition of
Spoelstra is one of the 3 best coaches in the NBA?
right now? Yeah.
No, not right now. Period. He is. That's just that's the reality of it, Key. Spo is
He's
probably
proven.
the best coach in the league.
Mm.
Spo is probably the best coach in the league. And part of that is my Miami bias. The other part of that is using what he's done over the past couple of years as evidence. Last year, nobody expected. Some people didn't even expect Spo to make the playoffs, and he made it to the NBA Finals. Spo has taken several opportunities to take piles of shit and turn them into serviceable NBA players. He made Hassan Whiteside a household name for a while.
This is true.
He made Tyler Johnson a rotation player. He made James Johnson a rotation player. He made Rodney Magruder, James Ennis. He brought Greg Oden's career back from the dead. Like Spo has done minor miracles. He brought Deion Waiters' career back from the dead. Spo has performed minor miracles with this Heat team over the last few years, and I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. So when people talk about Harden being ball dominant, I think about if Harden wants to win a championship, then one of the ways he's going to do it is by listening to a coach that has won championships. And the offense is going to be more Harden-centric than it's been the past couple of years, but that's what happens when you get a talent like that. And so you gotta give and take something. When you get somebody like Harden, your offense, becomes more Harden-centric. But hey, would it not have helped to have a Harden in that championship this past year?
This is true. I think that my LeBron trauma is speaking more than the reality is because,
I have LeBron trauma too, Key. But that LeBron trauma gave us 2 rings.
True.
So it's like you got to take the good and the bad. I would absolutely hate watching James Harden play 82 games a year. I hate watching James Harden play basketball. But I would trade everything. I would trade everything short of Jimmy and Bam on this team to get him. Everything because
anyway, so we got that secured already. That's straight.
Yeah, Bam got 6 years guaranteed. Like he ain't no player option or team. He here. And then here's another argument that I made.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so, though.
Yeah. Here's another argument that I made. You trade for Harden, he make what $40 million this year and like $42 million next year. Let's say, for instance, Harden gets here this year and Jimmy Butler doesn't like him and they don't get along and it just doesn't work. Well, now I got a $40 million expiring contract that I'm finna trade for Giannis' ass. I trade Harden to Milwaukee for Giannis.
Me too. Me too.
Like, you get your superstar back and, you still maintain some level of relevancy. Whether or not he leaves you in a year, that's up to y'all. But, I give him something so that you don't lose Giannis for nothing.
Yeah, at least try. You saying at least try the shit. Like, don't say no. At least try.
But the thing about it is, whenever your team's name is in a conversation with one of the top players in the league, you're obligated to entertain it. Like you have to listen to it at the very least. And for people to summarily dismiss James Harden because he is who he is, he's seen as a loser. He loses in the playoffs and whatnot. Yeah, but what did people say about Jimmy Butler prior to him getting over here?
Yeah, this is true. He was nothing to be he got more respect in Miami than he probably ever had in his career.
Jimmy Butler is the top. People unanimously consider Jimmy Butler a top 15 player in the league now.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy effing Buckets. It's like he's unanimously considered one of the top 15 players in the league. Even ESPN ranked him number 12, 13. But see, and that, huh?
Listening.
Oh yeah, but see that's the type of respect that this organization helps bring people. They know once you come here, you're gonna get a certain level of discipline. You're gonna have to get in shape and whatnot. But it also can provide you with the best year that you've ever had. And maybe it might not be the case for somebody like James Harden, who's had several great years, but it can put him closer to a championship than he's ever been, apart from that 1 year with Chris Paul.
This is real. I think Chris Paul should go ahead and hang up the sneakers. I know that's off tangent, but that's just my personal opinion.
But why though?
Is he really gonna win a championship? Like, what is he playing for?
No. That championship shit is over with. He's not winning one of those unless he goes ring chasing. But you gotta consider what he did last year. He took that OKC team to the second round of the playoffs.
Okay.
Hey, nobody thought they'd get there. So you know what I mean? Like when you got a team like when you got a team when you got Chris Paul, he can make teams better. He still feel like he's got some type of relevancy. He's still making all-star games. Ain't no need to hang him up and stop getting that check yet.
Okay, it's about the check. I understand. We ain't talking about championships. We're talking about the check.
No, we talk about the check. Chris Paul ain't. I think the only way Chris Paul wins the championship is if he sucks up his pride and goes be a role player for some contender or something like that.
Yeah, I agree because it ain't happening with what he got going on right now.
No, I mean, but the same thing was true for Melo.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. Let's not go there. I would like to see Alec if Alec is interested in being on the show. He has a lot to say. One
Which
day,
is sorry. He's really dope. He's really dope. He really he pay attention.
Yeah, he does. He's on. I mean, he's hype fast too. Everything we talk about, he on it. I believe. What do you think? What are your projections for the season for the Heat? Do you believe that they have the ability to go back to the finals?
I believe they have the ability to go back to the finals. It's going to be a lot tougher this year. Like it's going to be a lot harder because you're getting people like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving coming back. And a lot of teams in the East generally got better. So the Charlotte Hornets got better. I don't want to say
Carey in the draft.
Huh?
Vernon Carey from Duke. They picked him up out the draft. He's from the crib though.
Yeah, Vernon Carey. Absolutely. I was just about to say that. The Heat was looking at Vernon Carey Jr. like to draft him, but they didn't expect Precious Achiuwa to fall to them either. But I do expect Miami to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they're one of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference and one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league this year. Even though a lot of people, not seeing that yet, I think that they're still one of the top teams in the league, and I think that they could make it back to the finals. Things really need to they might need to make a move or two at the trade deadline just to kind of get themselves right. But I do believe that they are already on the path to being on their way back to a championship run.
Now, do you believe anybody can beat them Lakers right now with AD re-signing and LeBron re-signing?
That's gonna be tough. I think if they're gonna get beat, they're gonna get beat in the Western Conference. They're not gonna get beat by the East. Like, I don't think there's a team in the Eastern Conference that can go out there and compete with what the Lakers have on their roster. They improved. They got 3 people who scored 19 points a game last year and added them to the damn roster. Like it's going to be tough to beat them bitches. Like it is. And I don't see anybody from the Eastern Conference who's capable of doing it. I do like some of the moves that the Clippers made. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have last year's playoffs still ingrained in their memory. But I think the Clippers are going to come back and be a better team, and I do give them a chance to beat the Lakers. But if the Lakers make it to the championship, then LeBron James just going to get another ring.
Yeah, I'd agree. So the best bet is to keep their ass out. Okay. Oh, Kevin Durant already showing off with his first Nets bucket. They just did an update on ESPN. So there is some basketball going on, Royal.
Yeah.
But this has been a great talk. Is there anything else you would like to mention, discuss, ask about?
No. Well, first of all, I want to tell you thank you for having me on the show. This is this is not uncommon for us. We've done this a couple of times, but I also had you on my show. You were the second guest on my show, Royal Argues with Everybody. But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it. I really enjoy the content that you and your sister have been producing, and I like the idea, so I want you to keep it going. And anytime you want to have me back, I'm open to coming and getting on.
As it will happen, it is happening. Tell the people how they can find you on your social media. Tell people about your 5 Reasons Sportcast. Tell people how they can stay connected to you, Roy.
Okay, so you can find me at Royal A. Shepherd on Twitter. You can find me at Royal A. Shepherd on Instagram. The 5 Reasons Sports Network is everywhere. It's on Facebook, mainly on the YouTube channel. That's where you'll see all our live streams. We stream from Dolphins games. We do post-game, pre-game for Dolphins. We do during the game. We do post-game, pre-game for the Heat, the Canes. They even got a Florida Gators channel portion up there. So all of our work is up there. I also run the Five on the Floor podcast. I run their Instagram page. So 5 on the Floor 5 is where that's at. But yeah, make sure you check out some of the podcasts, the YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully I can continue to bring some more great South Florida content to people.
As you will, from South Florida straight to Sam to the rest of the world, we are both here. And
Absolutely.
without further ado, we would like to say good night to the people. We'll see y'all the next time. Have a great evening. Have a powerful week. Have a productive week. And we out. Peace.